Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Fruit Salad. What's today's mix? I'm Geo,
And I'm Tabby.
where you get to see just how big of nerds we really are.
Oh, buckle in. We want to thank you so much for joining us on this podcast episode. It's good to see you for another week, and we're happy to have you with us. We hope you enjoy burning your time.
Ooh, yes. And what episode number is this now?
I think that this is episode
Yeah.
number 7.
Really?
Lucky number 7.
Oh boy, oh boy. Before we get on our topic, tell me about your week.
My week?
Yeah.
I had an insane week.
Oh, really?
Just insane. I had one of my friends visiting from out of state. And so, like, of course, when you have guests over, it's like super disrupting. And then, like, you just like love having them there because they're your friend and you haven't seen them in
Of
like
course.
2.5 years. And
Yeah.
so we had a great time. We went out and tried to see La Push, but the Quileute Res was closed because of COVID, which is fine.
Yeah.
But we got to take her to do the Twilight Cringe and Forks. Had a burger at Sully's. And then basically drove back because it's only like hour and a half, 2 hours for us. But we stopped at Lake Crescent along the way and just had a really fun time with the dogs and my stepmom, and it was just really good. It didn't get crazy until we tried to catch her train back home.
Oh my goodness, what happened?
So we left. So her train was scheduled to leave at 4:40 p.m. out of King's Cross or King Street Station. King's Cross.
Wait, we were
Harry
about to
Potter
say
on the
King's
brain.
Cross. That's what
Yeah.
I thought it was from.
Yeah, Harry Potter on the brain. No, King Street Station in Seattle. And it's scheduled to leave 4:40. So we're like, okay, we should probably be at the station by like, 3:30, right? 3:34.
Right. Right.
So we decided we were going to take like the 255 ferry across so that we could make it with plenty of time to get to her train station. Because it's only like 6 blocks away from the ferry station once you get over.
Yeah.
And the ferry is only like 35 minutes to cross, usually. So we actually left the house at 1:45. We drove an hour to the ferry,
Mm-hmm.
and we did not make the 255 ferry because it was actually full. The cars were all full. So we got stuck in line for the 3:55 ferry, which didn't show up and didn't leave until 4:20.
Oh. Blaze it.
Right? So we we got on this and we're going, okay, maybe the train's running late. Maybe we're gonna catch this. Like pray to every single god you know. Like we're gonna get this. We get over there, made it 6 blocks in 3 minutes.
Oh man.
I know, and find out that her train, which was scheduled to leave at 4:40, and we were there at 4:38.
Oh no.
That
Oh,
train
no.
left at 4:05. It left before we even got on the ferry.
But why would it leave early like that?
I have no idea.
Is it running like on doctor schedules where it just you have an appointment but they just take you whenever the hell they feel like it?
I have no idea. It felt that way because we and get this, they charged her $14 to get a new ticket to go home the next day. Even though the train left early and she was at the station at the appointed time. Oh. Anyway.
I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that.
I know, it was insane. Like, I don't know if we could have done anything right to get over there. But regardless, we went back the next day and we were at the train station at 2:00. And we didn't leave until her train got there. And guess when it got there? The train said 4:40. She was loaded and on her way to Edmonds at 4:05.
That is insane. Why are they doing that?
I honestly don't know.
Y'all need to get y'all shit under control over there.
I know.
No, I can't. I shouldn't insult them. I'm probably gonna need a train ticket, and they're probably never gonna sell me one. I'm sorry, love you, boo boos.
No, man.
But yeah, that sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah, so that was my
crazy ass schedules with trains that's leaving whenever the hell it feels like it.
Exactly.
How
was your
my
week?
week? my week has been it's fine. You know, 4th of July was, 4th of July had passed. But people around where I live, they don't realize that it's the 4th of July, not New Year's. And they think that just because they have fireworks, they can just pop them off like a day or two early. No. No, you live in the city, you dumb shits.
You can
Now,
set something on fire.
my dog's got PTSD now.
Oh no.
My dog thinks he's like stressing out, like he's been in the war or something.
Oh my
My poor
lord.
pooper. For the longest time, ever since then, he would not go outside in the dark to pee and do his business outside.
Ugh.
Um, it'd have to be during daylight hours. He refused at night. I tried everything. I tried luring him with a treat. I tried gradually moving, giving him hugs and kisses, move a step back. Managed to get all the way out the door, and then he just looks at me like, "Nah, I know it's out there." Like I've seen some things. Like it's just fireworks, doo doo. But goodness, he actually managed to go outside and pee really quick last night. I was so proud of him. But
Oh.
it's not going to matter. Any progress he makes now will not matter, because I read on the newspaper that on the front page of the newspaper printed earlier this week that the 4th of July celebration and fireworks and stuff by the city will not take place anytime soon. They are postponing the celebrations until September 4th.
September?
So any progress my dog makes now is going to be reset. He's going. It's my poor dog.
September?
Yeah, September. It's because we've had a lot of rainy weather lately, and I can understand a few weeks, but not a whole month.
That's more
That's retarded.
that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why that date?
It
Why
does.
September 4th? Like, what's so special
Like,
about that?
I don't know. Let me look. I'm probably gonna end up insulting somebody.
Well, like, I don't
Let's see.
know if it's like an Idaho thing, but like, if
What
it's
is
too bad to
September
do the
4th?
fireworks, it's not like they're postponed. It's just like, better luck next year. Like, the 4th is the 4th is the 4th. Like, why are you doing it on a different day? What's the point?
Yeah, holidays and observances. It's just Newspaper Carrier Day and Immigrants Day in Argentina. There's nothing special about the 4th. I mean, I can understand if there's like some veteran holiday on the 4th, but apparently it's just a day, and the city's just like, hey, we got all these fireworks. We got all this freaking money that we wasted on all this crap instead of doing it like a normal group of people would think to do and stall it for like a week or two, or just look at the weather forecast and be like,
Oh my
okay,
god.
it's saying that this is going to be the day. It's not going to have any chance of rain, no chance of even a cloudy sky that night. We should do it this day, maybe 2 weeks later. No, let's go ahead and just postpone it a whole friggin' month, 2 months,
2 months, yeah,
because
that's
we're in
insane.
July.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I
Your
live in.
town doesn't make any
Was.
sense.
I live in the wrong state.
You do. You
I
you
need
should
to
be
get
here.
out of here.
You should come here instead.
These are. I love you people. I love my local people, but you guys confound me sometimes. Like
Confound me.
you don't know how to drive. You're gonna get me on this tangent. I've seen people. It's something whenever you're scared to drive, but whenever you're scared to drive in a parking lot is a whole other thing. Because these people don't know how to drive in a friggin' parking lot, and it's making me crazy, and I hate it. Okay,
My poor
I'm good.
panda.
I'm good.
Are you
I'm
alright?
good. I need a milkshake.
You do need a milkshake. That was intense.
Okay, let's get on to this week's topic before I'm run out of town. Let's see. So Panda, you want to tell us about this week's topic?
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
coming down from whatever the hell it is I'm on.
This week's topic for all of you awesome otakus and weeaboos out there is
Weeaboo.
anime.
The animus.
The animus. Yes.
Yes.
We'll be discussing our favorite animes, what we like about them, and what makes them awesome in our opinions, of course.
As well as our favorite genres and what
Yeah.
inspires our work. And one I'm excited to get to. What we think are the best opening sequences. So I'm
Ooh,
excited to get to that.
tasty.
Did you fill out that part
I
that I
did.
sent you?
I did.
Okay, good. Okay, well, let's get it started. What was the first anime you ever saw? For me, it's hard for me to remember because from the littlest that I was, what little I can remember back then, I remember Sailor Moon. And this wasn't the time when, we're spoiled now. We got Crunchyroll, we got torrents, we got pretty much if you want it, it's there.
Yeah.
Back whenever I was getting into it as a child, it was pretty non existent. I
Oof.
remember the first time I've heard of Sailor Moon was I saw a toy commercial for the dolls and I
Ooh.
saw the animation for it. And I was like, this is so pretty. I want to watch this. I still remember the doll commercial for it. I'll have to send it to
Oh,
you after this.
absolutely.
But I remember in order to watch Sailor Moon back when I was a child, before they would put it on Toonami on Cartoon Network, I would actually have to wake up super early in the morning and go to this random channel on the satellite and watch an episode like that. So yeah,
Oh.
back in whenever I was a kid, it wasn't easy. And then whenever you we got Cartoon Network and Toonami and Adult Swim that was showing like tiny showcases of popular animes, then yeah. But it's hard for me because I can't remember if it's my first anime was Sailor Moon or if it was a movie called Project Aiko, which I still love. I remember the first how I figured, discovered Project Aiko. I actually back when Columbia had a comic book store, we had I had bought a Project Aiko comic and I read that thing so much the pages fell out. It wasn't a
Oh,
manga. It was actually a comic that somebody had drawn stills of from the movie word for word. It's actually pretty cool. I
that's
miss
neat.
them. I used to carry them with me everywhere.
Oh.
So what were the first anime that you remember ever watching?
Yu Yu Hakusho and
Oh
Pokemon.
really?
Yeah.
Oh god, I love Pokemon. It's been forever since I've watched some Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I remember when Yu Yu Hakusho was playing on TV. It was on the when Adult Swim was first starting to run some anime, and they would play it in their late night block on Adult Swim, and I
mhm.
remember watching it there. And then later they moved it on to the afternoon block of Toonami.
I would watch it Saturday mornings. I lived in New York at the time,
Oh,
so
really? What
we had really
channel
great
was it?
television. Pretty sure it was the same channel that would play Looney Tunes later. Like it was on pretty early. I had to get up at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning to see Yu Yu Hakusho.
Pretty much like what I had to do to see Sailor Moon.
Yeah, so I had to get up early and then it would switch to Looney Tunes before it would get into the more like modern day at the time, like 90s, that which at the time was Pokemon and Sailor
That's
Moon.
kind
Yeah.
of that's kind of like a pretty good switch there. You go from Yu Yu Hakusho to Looney Tunes.
Yep.
That's really that's got to be really jarring. I can't imagine that.
They're my two favorite cartoons in the whole world.
Oh, I love
Also,
Looney
my
Tunes.
dogs are about to go insane and I apologize.
No, don't worry about it. We love hearing from the boopers, ain't that right, y'all? We
Oh.
can't hear you, but I know you're saying yes.
That's
Also,
good.
you and me, we both. I remember you telling me we both watched a butt ton of The Last Unicorn when we were
Oh
kids.
my gosh, yeah. I think I wore through my copy of my VHS. This is why I don't have it anymore.
I think I wore through my parents' patience with my love for that movie. I probably wore through the tape I rented, and I probably no telling how many times I had to replace that tape with how many
Oh
times I
no.
watched it. But I was telling you earlier today that it's technically an anime. It
Right,
technically
that blew
is
my mind.
because when I was rewatching it like years back, yeah, I got the Blu-ray on, and I was reliving my childhood. Um, that was back when movies had like the credits in front of the movie, like
Yeah.
older, whatever. But I noticed that there was a lot of Japanese names in there, and I was like, no way, no way. And so I actually looked it up, and it is technically classified as an American anime because it was written and directed by American people, but it was like pretty much animated by the Japanese.
Hmm.
And technically it was animated by the studio Top Front, which would later on become Studio Ghibli.
That is the coolest thing I've heard all day. Honestly, I just learned this today, and it blew my mind. It was so cool.
I know. It's like I was doing research on it today. I was like, okay, I remember this finding out years ago that this was technically an anime. Let me refresh my memory. Let me
Hmm.
do some research. And I pulled it up online. I was like, okay, we're gonna figure this crap out right here, right now. And yeah, it was animated by the studio that would later become Studio Ghibli.
That's pretty cool.
But
So, like, if we're gonna include American animes, then Avatar: The Last Airbender, absolutely.
I love the show. I do love it.
Yeah.
I never thought I would. I love Toph to death. She's my favorite of
Yep.
the show because that little girl's crazy.
She's
But
excellent.
I love it. Such a great show.
It really
Such a
is.
great show. But you would classify it as anime?
An American anime, yeah, definitely.
American anime, yeah.
And then of
The-
course Naruto. That was another one I watched as a kid.
You watched Naruto as a kid?
Well, like as an old, like I was in middle school, maybe. Wait, is that accurate? When did Naruto come out? When was the first? I have to look it up now.
Do a Google search right quick. Do
I
it, do
am.
it, do it, do it. I'll keep them occupied. Um, what what kind of milk? No, I messed it up. Never mind. I can't stall. I
Oh
can't
my
stall for nothing.
god.
What?
Yeah. Um 2002. So yeah, I was in middle
Oh,
school. Oh
oh
no, I think
man.
I might have been in grade. I think I actually might have been in grade school. I was born in
Oh,
92.
oh my God. I
I was
remember
12
the
years
first
old.
the
No.
first time
Yeah,
I watched
10 years old.
Naruto. It wasn't even in America yet. It hadn't even been introduced to the American market yet. I remember we would watch episodes freshly subtitled, from torrents and stuff.
Right.
And because we would download all these shows that we didn't know if they were going to come over or not. We should have known Naruto was going to come over. I watched Death Note like that. I watched Bleach like that.
Oh wow.
Um, Naruto. I'm not sure if I already said that. I watched a lot of stuff. Yakitate Japan, which I'll go about later, is one that I've watched, and it still has. I don't think the anime still hasn't made it over here, but the manga has.
Oh yeah. That's
But
cool.
yeah, yeah, that's insane to think that I'm torrenting Naruto episodes before it's even heard of over here, and you're over there, you know, going to recess and sipping from a juice box. That's just really weird.
Oh, it's
That's
kind
so
of
weird
funny
to
because
me.
I
Oh my
mean it
god,
just
I feel
shows.
so old.
Oh my god, no. Man, I loved anime so much that I avoided things like anime club because I knew I would lose myself.
Oh god, I wish we had one when I was in school
My
because
best friend was in it at the time. I
I
never
would
joined.
bebop my happy ass in there every day. But the thing was that in school, if anybody else was interested in it, I would gravitate towards them or they would gravitate towards me. But there wasn't many kids that did like anime when I was in school
Hmm.
because if they did, they didn't let anybody know. And I don't
Right.
know why. Maybe it was because it wasn't as widespread
Oh,
then.
it really wasn't as widespread when I was a kid either. Even when I was in high school, it was kind of faux pas to be one of the anime club kids. You were like the biggest nerd in school.
See, that's the thing is that you actually had an anime club. I didn't, and that's what I wanted. I should have just made one myself.
You
That's what I
should
should have
have.
did. The thing is that I was so painfully shy back then.
Me
I
too.
I didn't have the nerve to just be my goofy ass then.
Oh.
I've thought like if I could just go back in time, just bring this personality and this weirdness back then. There's no telling how fun school would have been. School was fun for me though.
Yeah,
But
me
we're
too.
getting off track though.
Yeah, no, it's true. We went blast from the past, started talking about anime, you know.
I
It
know, right?
happens.
So, your first anime you remember seeing was Yu Yu Hakusho
Yep.
and Naruto,
Yep.
right? And
Well,
technically Last Unicorn.
well, not the first one. Naruto came later, but Yu Yu Hakusho and Sailor Moon would be the first ones I ever saw. Yeah.
I love Sailor Moon. All right. What is your favorite genre? Mine is psychological. Back then in the day, I would have said that Magical Girl was my favorite because I had such a strong nostalgia for Sailor Moon. It was my first, it's my baby. I love it. But now that I'm grown and I've seen all kinds of different ones, I'd have to say the more dark, psychological, messed up ones, like my movie tastes, are the ones for me.
That's fair. I am kind of along the same page. I like psychological animes like Psychopaths. I also like horror animes like Attack on Titan.
I
But
wouldn't classify Attack on Titan as horror, though. I'd say that's more of an action.
I mean, I would say it's horror.
You're scared of
Only
everything, though.
no, I'm not. It's not because it scared me, but like I have seen that show terrify people, multiple people. Like I've tried to show my friends before, and they've just been like, "What is happening?" I'm sitting there nomming on jerky, loving the irony of the moment, and they're
What
just like, "What's
genre
wrong with you?"
is Attack on Titan? We're gonna settle this right now.
All
What
right,
genre
cool.
is Attack on Titan? Okay, it's classified as action, fiction, dark fantasy, and apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic.
So not quite horror. There's a lot
Not,
of blood in it for it not being horror. I
I can
would.
see why it would be
Ugh.
horror because that first episode, which I'll also go into later, that first episode was amazing. It was pretty much the best first episode I had seen since I've seen the first episode of Higurashi no Naku Koroni.
Wow.
And that is a testament because when you open up your show with a boy beating two girls to death with a baseball bat,
Oof.
if you can match that energy, then that's for me. That's amazing. That's wonderful. I love that
Oh,
stuff.
well, yeah, the
It
first episode of Attack on Titan would definitely match that
was
energy.
Oh, it did. It did. It had me hooked from that first episode. But then halfway through the series, I was like, okay, this isn't for me. I gave
Oh.
it the good college try. I loved
Well,
the opening,
yeah.
which would go into later. But I can see why people would classify it as horror because it's gory. It is very unnerving. Those
Hmm.
Titans are very unnerving.
Oh, God.
So I will give you a pass. I will say yes, that is dark. I'd put it
Dark
in horror
fantasy.
for you. We'll do that.
I'll be okay with dark fantasy. That's believable.
That's believable.
Yeah.
So you like psychological as well as dark fantasy.
Yeah, and anything that really catches my attention, if it can keep it. And for me, it's not so much the genre of the anime, it's the art
Hmm.
style. If it
The
doesn't
art
have
style,
a
definitely.
pleasing art style to me, I can't watch it. Even if it supposedly has one of the best stories that anybody's ever told, I just can't. I don't know why.
It's okay. Some people are like that. Like, I'm trying to think of any horrendously looking anime I've seen that, and I'm going over my list, and there is not. All of mine are beautiful because I love them all.
Yeah, I would say one, but then I would like lose all of our followers in like 10 seconds. So I'm just gonna keep my opinions on that matter to myself.
Okay, but you got to tell me later.
I
Okay.
will.
Okay. All right. Which ones did you grow up with? Which is pretty much like the first ones you ever saw. But which anime did you grow up with? For me, Sailor Moon, as I stated before, I drove my
Mm-hmm.
parents crazy with that as well. Sailor Moon, they know all about Sailor Moon. I had a Sailor Moon birthday party. I had a Sailor Moon bubble bath as a kid. You know how hard it was to find Sailor Moon merchandise back in the day?
Especially where you lived, yeah.
Oh my god.
Because, I
I
mean, when I was a
flipped
kid, it was
I
everywhere.
I flipped my shit when I had a Sailor Moon birthday party. I kept a Sailor
Precious.
Moon plate. I kept Sailor Moon cup. I kept my Sailor Moon bubble bath bottle that still had the. See, I loved that bubble bath bottle because it was like a 3D bottle. It had Sailor Moon with Luna next to her,
Oh,
the crescent
wow.
moon behind her, and her pigtails. They were like
Mm-hmm.
real doll hair. And
Oh.
I loved it. I just had it on display, and my brother threw it away because he said it was weird.
No.
I still don't forgive you for that, brother mine.
That's that's a
But
grave offense.
I can understand where he came from because that's a hoarder mentality. You don't need to keep a plate. in a cup and an empty. Yeah, I mean, it sucks because I'll probably never have that again, but I can understand I shouldn't keep stuff like that.
Oh, but I
But I
mean,
grew up with
little.
Sailor Moon with my little bottle.
You're so precious.
I grew up with Dragon Ball Z and shows like Gundam Wing, G Gundam. I loved Gundam. G Gundam, Gundam Wing, 08th MS Team, Mobile Suit Gundam. Pretty much, if there was a Gundam show on the air, I was watching it. Pretty much all of the Toonami shows, anime, I could catch after school, like Tenchi Muyo,
Right.
um, others like Roni Kenshin. I would watch them. But mainly, my big top three I can remember as a kid growing up with was Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Gundam.
That's fantastic. For me, full disclosure, I watched way more Disney movies and whatnot than I did anime. So it
No
really is
shame
the
in that.
same as what I said before, like Pokemon, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, and Naruto. Those were like the four I can remember from my childhood, and then I went for a really long phase of just watching nothing but Disney movies,
Oh,
Aristocrats, just Lion King, Aladdin, Peter Pan, like just everything. I still have all
no,
of my VHS tapes.
there's no shame in that at all. But I do want to tell you one thing, and I'm going to risk embarrassing myself in front of all two of our listeners
Oh
right now.
no.
All three of you, if we're lucky. Okay. Um, Sailor Moon actually was the first OC I ever made based off of Sailor Moon.
Oh, that's precious.
Yeah. She was I'm going by my kid mindset. I know they're called Sailor Senshi, but back when I was a kid, they were called Sailor Scouts. So it was
Oh,
like my first OC was a Sailor Scout named
oh,
Tidal, and she was water,
that's
which we know is
fantastic.
which we know is freaking Sailor Neptune. And I'm like freaking 12 or 13 years old. I'm a dumb kid. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this girl as big of a Mary Sue as possible.
Oh my
Because when you're
lord.
a kid, you make all your characters are Mary Sues. They come in, everybody loves them. Nobody can stop them.
Yep.
So my Mary Sue was Tidal. I can't remember what her name was, which is like Tidal Waves. What her real name was. She was Sailor Moon's cousin. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
That's the best.
Oh, she was her cousin. Her power was water. And that's all I remember, but it's still like a big, massive cringe in the back of my mind.
That's so
So yeah,
cute. Such a kid, like
yeah.
that's so precious. I love it.
Oh my god. I think her and Sailor Venus were best friends because everybody loved her.
Of course, of course.
All right, now we're gonna get to the big one.
Yeah.
Your favorite anime. And I'm gonna let you go first. I mean, it can be more than one. It can be multiple genres. We're not going down the list like we did with movies. All genres. What's your favorites? Toss them all in there. Tell me about them. Go.
All right. So Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm gonna say it for every single because I love it. I just really do. Other than
Facts.
that, I like Sword Art Online.
Oh god, you know how I feel about that.
I know it's not dot hack, but it's Sword Art
We'll
Online,
go
and I
into
love
that
it.
later.
Psychopaths, which I mentioned before. One of the ones I haven't mentioned is the 12 Kingdoms.
Uh-huh.
Funnily enough, I haven't finished it, which is something that I do to my favorite anime series, so they never actually
They never end.
end.
Mm-hmm.
um, there's also Attack on Titan, which I mentioned before. Outlaw Star, one of my
That's a
favorites.
that's a very good one. I remember watching that on Adult Swim, which later it went to Toonami. So I
Uh,
remember that one.
I actually didn't see it until I was an adult. Yeah.
I remember I recommended it to you.
Yep, you did. And I watched it and I was like, oh, yes.
Oh, it's so good.
It
And
is
I
so good.
love that early 90s, late 90s,
Yes.
80s anime aesthetic.
It's
I
so
love the
good.
way it's so beautifully animated.
And I love 90s sci-fi stuff, especially because it was out there, No holds
Oh yeah,
barred.
everything goes. Anything goes out
Yep.
there.
Yep. Um, Other than that, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Um,
Oh, we're not talking about the
the other
original.
one, yeah.
We're going with the Brotherhood.
And then let me dive down this rabbit hole with the next three: Yuri on Ice,
Yes.
Dramatical Murder,
Yes.
and Black Butler. Because, yep.
Yes. Okay, also, by the way, can you kind of send me, those dramatical murders
Oh
OVA
yeah.
that you got? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need those for
Yeah.
research
For
purposes.
research purposes. Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna need those for research purposes. Don't look it up. If you don't know what it is, don't look it up.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Save yourself.
Save your soul.
You'll turn out like us. Jesus Christ.
Oh, no kidding. You, Panda, what's your list? Hit it.
My favorite anime would have to be Higurashi no Nakukoro ni,
Mm?
as well as, the others that followed it, which was Kai, Ray, which I think it was Ray and then Kai, as well as Umineko no Nakukoro ni, which is a little bit related to Higurashi, but I love it both because it's so beautifully messed up. It is horrific. I love it. My favorite. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh my god.
So good.
I've heard so much about it, growing up, and I remember I had this videotape of Tekken, the anime movie,
Mm-hmm.
which I loved to watch as a kid. And going back and seeing it now, it's horrendous. I don't know. My tastes have grown up incredibly, incredibly much. But I remember it was put out by ADV, and they had this promo that they would play, and Neon Genesis Evangelion was one of them. And I was like, I've seen a lot of it. I didn't know why everybody was so crazy about it. And it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I actually sat down and watched it. And it is everything they said about it is true. It is one of the best anime of all time, and I love it. I will throat punch anyone that disagrees. Dot,
Fantastic.
the original Sword Art Online, I like Dot Hack sign. I love Dot Hack, and I was telling her, um, pretty much Dot Hack sign is Sword Art Online, except there's no action. It's all dialogue.
That
If there's
sounds
somebody,
terrible.
if somebody is fighting, it is super exciting because you don't know if that's ever going to happen again. It is intense, and it lasts all of 2 seconds.
Dang.
It is amazing. uh, I love Dot Hack sign. Shoujo Kakume Utena, which is another one. It's a magical girl series, and I
Oh,
love it.
okay.
I love Utena. Cowboy Bebop. Yes, yes, Cowboy. Give me some Cowboy Bebop. Sailor
Absolutely.
Moon. Sailor Moon mainly because she's been with me for so long. I love her.
Of course.
Paranoia Agent. I love it so much. And as for comedy, my favorite comedy is Yakitate Japan, which is the most hilarious anime I've ever seen, and it's about baking bread. It is a show about baking bread, and it is hilarious. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I might go
Fantastic.
and rewatch a few episodes now.
I know I'm going to be watching Yu Yu Hakusho this evening.
Yes. What is your favorite genre?
I don't have one.
You don't? I mean, not
No.
your. Wait, did I say least favorite?
No, you said favorite.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. I meant to say least favorite. What is your least
Um,
favorite genre?
uh, Etchy.
Yours is
I
too?
I don't like it. It's so cringe. It's
It's
yeah.
very cringe. I thought you liked High School of the Dead, though.
Okay, but it's
That's edgy.
the one. It's
That's
only
edgy.
one. It's only one.
If
It's the
the
only one I like.
if the girl moves and her breasts are going in 20 different directions every time she breathes, that's etchy.
I hated that part. Okay, maybe it's because I'm bisexual, alright? Maybe it was a little bit of fan service. I was like, zombies are my thing, right? And then it was just like, okay, boobs are nice.
Alrighty then. But no, it's just I can understand the appeal of etchy. It like you said, it's fan service. It's
Yeah.
something that you can not take too seriously, but at the same time, it feels so voyeuristic to me. and it feels so.
Yeah.
It feels wrong.
I can see that. Like there are certain times where it's like I definitely wouldn't want anybody like hanging
To
out
know
watching
I
me High
have
School
this.
of the Dead with me, you know? Like that would be just the cringiest moment ever. I'd be like, "Yeah, let's just watch something else, okay?"
I think because of that, I try not to draw my female characters with too big of breasts.
Same.
I think the character that I have that has the biggest breasts is probably only one
I
character,
know who it
and
is.
her name is Amarillo.
No.
Who are you thinking
I was
of?
thinking of Freya.
Oh, Freya! God, I can't believe I forgot about Freya. Poor Freya. Yeah,
Yeah.
Freya. That's two characters then. Yes, I stand corrected. Freya has big knockers, and so does Amarillo. And Amarillo, she gets kind of looked down on. Well, not looked down on for it, but it's like it's kind of the joke. It's
Right.
like all of her other sisters, they're pretty flat. They're pretty either they're normal, but most of them are flat chested. And here she is with like these D cup balloons on her chest, and they're like, just get if they touch me one more time, I swear to God, I'll pop them, kind of thing. But I can understand the appeal because those girls are beautiful, those
Of course.
boys are beautiful, but at
Hmm.
the same time, it's like it's not for me. If that's your thing, hey, we're not telling you not to enjoy it. We're not telling you that you should be ashamed of it. We're not saying anything like that. But for us, it's hard for us to get into. This is just our opinion.
Of course.
So don't be offended. Don't be offended.
No, please don't.
That panda loves Etchy, and she
I
should be ashamed of it.
don't. It's just the one movie.
Not even a movie, it's a whole series. What are you talking about?
Well, it's just I consider it a movie because they aren't going to continue the series. So it's just like one long movie.
But
Ha.
it's just a completed series.
Ha. It's not completed.
What do you mean it's not completed?
It's not completed. Have you seen it through to the end? There is no ending. It
I
just
don't watch I don't
kind
watch
of
that
left
stuff.
off. It's like,
Oh my
oh,
gosh.
okay. They're not going to finish it either, so it's like maddeningly incomplete.
Oh, speaking of which, Umineko no Nakokoro ni, it ended on a cliffhanger
Oof.
years ago, and I'm still waiting for that second season, which I doubt they'll ever do. So if I ever want to know what's happened, then I have to actually play the PC games, the visual novels,
Yeah.
and I'm like, why do I have to do that? Why should I have to do that? You
Oof.
gave me the anime, which was brilliant, and I loved every second of it, and then you're just gonna end it on a cliffhanger, and it's like it's not why did you do that?
Oh my lord.
It's like giving me an ice cream and then punching me and then
Smacking it out
taking
of your
it
hand.
back. It's not fair. It's not right.
It's definitely abuse.
It's abusive. Don't do that. So, what do you think about live action anime adaptations?
Well, I don't know if I've ever seen one done right. Um
I've seen one. I've seen a few done right.
I mean the one that I don't well, I don't know. I don't know. What's the one that you've seen done right?
The live action Sailor Moon series, Pretty
Ah,
Guardian Sailor Moon.
haven't seen it.
It is. I sent it to you.
I haven't
Why
watched
have
it
you? Why
yet.
have you not seen? I'm not expecting you to. I just sent you a whole bunch of my anime on a whim. But
I've watched some.
uh, the live action Sailor Moon series, I wasn't expecting it to be very good, but
Mhm.
it was amazing. It actually made me cry. It was so good. Basically, you know, they look the same in the anime. They look the same before they transform and after they transform. It's kind of like the Superman effect where it's like he just puts on glasses
Yeah.
and nobody knows who he is. But with this, they actually took it a step further and they made it make sense because in the live action Sailor Moon, they don't look anything like who they turn out to be. Like Usagi, she wears pigtails, yes, because that's her characteristic.
Mhm.
But she doesn't. She has brown eyes. Her hair is naturally black. Her hair is shorter,
Ah.
and whenever she transforms, she has the iconic Odango hairstyle.
Mhm.
She has her blue eyes, and she's beautiful when she transforms. The only thing is that it's really campy because it's like Power Rangers
Yeah.
or Super Sentai, where it's like they have all these martial arts and they have these um, rubber suit villains that they
Yeah.
fight. And she has CGI pigtails whenever she does her magic attacks and when she
That's
transforms.
great.
So it's really campy, it's really corny, but at the same time, it's so good. I loved every second of it. And they have to, another change that they made was Luna and Artemis. They weren't actually real cats. I guess they kind of didn't have money for it, or they just didn't want to. I don't want to say they didn't want to put effort into it because that's not right to say. It was probably too difficult to do,
Yeah.
maybe. But they used plush cats and not animatronic plush cats. I think they actually just had a puppet or they had a plush cat and they kind of just like moved it around.
That's the best.
It is. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah, that's
I love
good.
it so much. It's such a great series. I didn't expect to like it. I loved every second of it. Um, I've watched the Death Note Japanese movies, which were really good. I loved them.
I haven't seen those
Um,
either. I started watching the one that we shall not speak of, and I turned it off 5 minutes in. I was like, what the actual shit is this?
what did they do to Light?
Oh my god, he's trashy.
What
Cringe.
they turned Light, one of the best anime characters
Best.
ever lived, ever
Ugh.
created, and they turned him into this angsty punk kid, this angsty whiny
Without
punk kid.
balls. Yeah.
Light was a genius.
Yes.
He was playing cat and mouse with L,
With an
with M,
entire
and with
world
N.
police unified force, like just crazy.
And he was even playing cat and mouse with Ryuk.
Yep.
And he's even with Misa, and I can't remember her Shinigami's name, but Rem.
Rem.
He
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 played
was
Rem.
playing everybody left and right, and it was beautiful.
Oh, it was a
And it's one
symphony.
of the best anime ever made.
Yeah, I
And
retroactively add that to my favorites.
oh, me too, definitely. And and this is why Americans shouldn't touch things they have no business touching.
No conception of. Mm-mm.
Which makes me think of, did you know that before Deke got a hold of Sailor Moon, the rights to Sailor Moon in America, that Saban almost got the rights to it?
Ooh.
And they were going to turn it into something
Oh.
ungodly.
Oh no.
Oh, yes, it exists. I've seen it. I seen it.
No.
It was going to be live action, kind of like Power Rangers, but
Yeah.
then when they transform, it was going to be animated. So it's going to have a live action segment, and they were going to have hoverboards, and Sailor Moon didn't have her iconic Odongo hairstyle.
No.
It was the only thing that survived Saban Moon, which is what people call that abomination, that survived Saban Moon was the logo. That
Oh
was the
wow.
only thing that was good from it. They took the Saban Moon logo for Sailor Moon that we all know and grew up with
Mm-hmm.
for Sailor Moon.
Wow.
That was the only good thing that came out of it. And to this day, I'm still haunted by that theme song they made. Sailor Moon. Oh my god, oh god.
Honestly, I'm just thinking about that graphic designer just sitting there going yeah, I did
Bless them,
that.
they tried. I mean, I don't want to sit there and shit all over somebody's work because people work. No matter what the project, they work hard. They did their best. They're proud of what they did. And I mean, I don't feel bad for shitting on it, but at the same time, I do because these people worked so hard on it. But
Yeah. I get
Death
that.
Note guys, the Death Note people that may, I'm not shitting on the actors. I'm not shitting on the cast and crew. I'm shitting on the writers.
Yep.
You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
Absolutely. From one writer to another, what the actual F have you done?
You should be ashamed.
Ashamed, sir.
Did you know there was
Or
a live
madam.
action Full Metal Alchemist movie and a Bleach movie?
Yep. I haven't seen him.
I did not know that. I knew that there was live action Rurouni Kenshin movies, but
I
I don't
heard
think
that
I knew there was a Full Metal Alchemist movie or Bleach.
I heard that one was good, the Full Metal Alchemist one. I heard it was okay, like acceptable.
I know that there was a live action Attack on Titan movie.
You know what? Okay, about that, I loved the graphics in that movie, and if you take it as a completely different story, it is one of the most effed up horror movies you'll ever watch in your life. Like there is a baby titan in there that just haunts my dreams to this day. It is not the same story at all,
I
but
have a
it's good.
feeling that this is probably going to be a podcast where we get a lot of comments.
Maybe.
People are going to be like, "What are you talking
You liked
about?
that trash?
Saban Moon was the best if we would have got it." Or, "What are you talking about? Death Note Japanese movies were garbage. What are you talking about? Attack on
It's
Titan movie was
okay.
garbage."
It's
We'd be
our
like, "Okay."
opinions and we can have them.
I just think it's funny that us causing havoc amongst the anime
So good.
community is
So
going to
good.
be what probably people get freaking list.
It will be our lift up into the interwebs.
I'm not sure if we want that though.
Come have a fight in our comments.
Oh God. You know what I discovered today while I was doing research, because I was like, I know I've seen more than one. I know there's a Jigoku Shoujo live action series that I probably watched like the first episode of. It was hard for me to get a hold of more episodes. That's why I haven't seen more. There was a live action Higurashi no Nakakoro ni movie I haven't seen because, like I said, it's hard for me to get a hold of it. Um, I while I was doing research for this, trying to find out other shows that were turned into live action that I might have seen, I discovered that they were going to make a live action Evangelion movie. They were going to try to do that.
Oof.
And I sat there and I was like, please, please don't let this happen. Please don't let this happen. Don't. I saw what you people did to Death Note. Don't do this to
Oh
Evangelion.
no.
But I think it's been canceled, or it's in production hell, development hell.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's the reason why we got the rebuild of Evangelion movies, which is like You Are Not Alone, You Cannot Redo, and stuff like that.
Right. Gotcha.
So I am very happy, but I'm very scared. So
So
let's get on to. Oh wait,
yeah.
what are you gonna say? What
Well,
are
I
you
was
gonna
just
say?
well, I was gonna do the exact same thing you were gonna do, and I was gonna ask
Ooh.
you if out of all of these like anime that we've talked about today, who are your favorite characters?
Well, my favorite characters. Sailor Moon obviously gets an honorable mention because I grew up with her. She
Mm-hmm.
was my hero. I wanted to be her when I grew up for the longest time. I still do. I have a Sailor Moon two Sailor Moon transformation brooches on me. I have one in my car right now actually because I record in my car. I have like the season one, and it was like a pin, and the pin is like super weak, so that's why I just put it in here. Forget it. But I actually have like a transformation brooch
That's precious.
compact mirror that I
No.
use from time to time, just whip it out. Like, yeah, y'all don't know who y'all messing with. So, I'm the super nerd around here.
I
But
mean, in the same vein, I have a Lion King mirror, so it's like
oh yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. But Sailor Moon obviously gets in a nod, but she's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because I love her so much. But my absolute favorites, I have two actually. And I sat there and I thought long and hard about it. The main character from Dot Hack Signs, Tsukasa, I love
Uh-huh.
him to death. He's every time I think of a favorite character, I somehow find my way going back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he he's kind of inspired a few of my characters, and he's just such a well written character,
Mm-hmm.
and I love him so much. I really do. My second one is Furude Rika from Higurashi no Nakakoro ni,
Mm.
as well as she has some bits in Umineko no Nakakoro ni. But I love her because she's a little girl. Like she's probably like 8 or 9 years old,
Yeah.
But this girl has seen some stuff, man.
Oof.
She's seen some shit.
That's not good.
And you don't, she, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But what you originally, she's kind of like a side character in the first series of Higurashi no Nakukoroni. But when it comes to Kai and Rei,
Hmm.
she's pretty much front and center. You realize that she knows more than she's been letting the viewer know.
Right.
She's not just a child. She is not just a innocent child. She's so broken.
She's something else.
I love her to death. She's also inspired so much when
Yeah.
it comes to creating characters, and I love her.
That's
That's what
fantastic.
that's all I can say is that I love her. Her and Sakasa.
Yeah.
And honorable mention to Sailor Moon because she's just back there somewhere chilling.
Fantastic. Well, I think for me, how you said, like, you keep circling back to the same one no matter how many others you think of.
Yeah.
Mine is Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah.
Or Suichi, whatever. I loved Kurama though. He was
He was the one with the rose, right?
yes,
The
he was the
the
fox
the
demon.
the rose thorn whip, and the
Yep.
red hair.
Yep.
Okay.
And then turned into a silver fox, literally.
Out of every series you see, there's always got to be that one that you kind of crush on.
Yeah.
Every different anime you see, there's like, okay, that's my crush this series.
Oh yeah.
Kurama's the crush. He's
Yeah,
definitely
definitely.
the crush of the series.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was the very first fan art I ever drew. Was
Oh my
Kurama.
god.
And I did it with
And
ballpoint pen too.
I think I've seen that one, and it's for your first. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Hey, who else do you have up your sleeve?
Levi from Attack on Titan. When he absolutely beats the piss out of Eren, yeah.
I've seen so much. I've seen so much of him.
He's just ballsy and good at what he
Oh, I've
does.
seen that. We're not talking about the same
No, but I know what you're talking about.
thing.
Oh dear.
All right, but seriously, okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Tell me more. Tell me about who'd you say, Levi?
Levi Ackerman, yeah.
Yes.
He's amazing. Just a complete badass, with that ODM gear, just insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish I could do half the things he could do. Just super cool.
Isn't he like a clean freak too?
Yeah, definitely. Pulled some inspiration there.
Yes.
Man. I don't know, those two are like my favorite. I'm sure there's more I could think of, per each show I've ever seen, I have a favorite. Like
Yeah.
Sebastian for Black Butler. Yeah, just or Kirito for Sword Art Online. Because Kirito is awesome. But
It's just so hard for me to. I mean, if we had to pick from every one,
yeah. It'd take forever.
It would take forever because we've seen so many. And usually whenever I say favorite anime character, the first ones that always pop to my mind is got to be Furude Rika and Tsukasa. But I'm pretty sure that after this is over and before I go to bed at like midnight tonight, I'm going to sit there and I'm like, son of a bitch. I can't believe I forgot this one.
Oh my
I
lord.
can't believe I forgot that one.
I almost forgot something.
Exactly.
You shared your cringe story with like Sailor Moon stuff, right?
Oh god.
I have a cringe story.
Tell me your cringe. Cringe with me.
I have a cringe story with Naruto, actually.
I got a cringe story with Naruto too.
I wrote Naruto fanfiction.
How old were you when you did it though?
I plead the fifth.
Oh god.
Yeah, I actually don't know how old I was, but definitely past high school. Well,
you got to start writing somewhere.
I mean, that's not where I started, but yeah, definitely.
Oh god.
I just had a whim and I went on there and I started doing it, and like I actually have people on there that are pissed that I stopped writing.
Well, see, that's a testament because I think fan fiction can be, as long as it adds something to the universe,
Hmm.
then it's legit.
I
It
made
is
my own
legit.
original character and like wrote
Oh
about
God,
her in the universe and
was she a Mary Sue?
um well, I don't really, funnily, this is the first time I've ever heard that term. Um
Really?
yeah,
Do you know what a
actually.
Mary Sue is?
I kind of inferred from your description earlier.
Yeah,
Um
pretty much a Mary Sue is just somebody who can come in. Think of Rey from Star Wars.
yeah.
She can come in, everybody automatically likes her.
Oh,
She
definitely not. Definitely not.
she um she trained for like a day and was a master.
Nope.
She she could get behind the Millennium Falcon, never piloted it before, but all of a
Nope.
sudden she can do everything. Yeah, just
Yeah.
think of Rey. That's a
Yeah,
that's a
no.
classic Mary Sue right there.
No, I'm a good writer, so I didn't write a Mary Sue.
Good. Don't be like me with my first OC.
Burn. No, no, she definitely was not a Mary Sue. She was powerful, but it was like not necessarily a good thing. It caused some serious problems, bad problems, and like,
Oh
yeah,
no.
it was crazy. It was a good story, and like, I'm to this day tempted to pick it back up and keep writing it because I'm all about indulging myself like a healthy heathen.
Why not?
Why not?
I say go back over it.
It can't
And
be.
I
It
mean
can't be any worse than how I make my money with my art anyway.
exactly. Exactly. Oh wait, is it one of those stories?
I mean, not really yet.
Oh, it has its moments.
It has
Yet.
its moments,
Yet.
yeah.
Wait, I need to take a moment to ask how old is this character?
Oh, plenty old enough.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So we're talking about
Oh, I'll give you bets as to who she ends up with.
Sasuke?
No. It fits. It
Choji.
fits. It fits perfectly.
Choji.
No, it fits perfectly into the universe. Actually.
Kakashi?
Yeah.
Of course. Why did I think of Kakashi first? Jesus Christ.
I used to
All
draw
right,
so much fan art. Anyway,
we don't have much time left.
we don't.
Let's go over our what we think the best opening sequences are, like the OPs to each episode.
I love the Smile Bob opening for Yu Yu Hakusho. And I like I said, I was gonna say that for every single genre, but it really is one of my favorite animes. It's perfect.
Is that like the first one?
They never changed the opening song. They changed the opening animations, but they never changed the opening song. It's the same throughout the whole
Yeah,
thing.
but the animation, is that the one that you're talking about?
Yeah, sure.
From the first one, the first season?
Yeah, but they're all good. First
Okay,
one's
and
nostalgic.
I'm trying to picture which one it is. If it's the first one ever, then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was actually a really good one.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Um, the other one that I could think of was one of my guilty pleasures, the Death Note opening sequence. The
Which
first
one?
The first
The
one.
first one?
Yeah.
Ah, shit, I'm trying to remember. I know it was done by Nightmare, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
And
No,
Attack
then
on Titan, but
Attack on Titan was good.
Yep.
Let's see. For me, my best opening sequences. If you were to ask me, the first one I'll always say top of the list is Zankoku no Tenchi no Teze. The first, well, the only opening for Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Nice.
That has to be the best done opening sequence that I've ever seen before. And I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
And it just flows so well. I mean, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna have to send it to you, and you're gonna have to pretend to watch it and then
I
agree
will
with me.
absolutely watch it.
Um, you can't. I wrote Cowboy Bebop.
Bebop.
Tank. Cowboy Bebop.
Bebop.
That is a classic opener, and it is gold. You can't. I can't mention a best opening sequence without mentioning that. The opening for Paranoia Agent, Yume no Shima Shinen Koen, that
Mm-hmm.
it's very divisive. The first time I saw it, I didn't like it. But once I actually sat there and thought about what it was I was seeing and actually looked at it, and realized what it was, then it was all of a sudden it was brilliant. Because
Right.
basically the opening is this guy singing, of course, but it's these people standing still and looking dead at you and laughing. And their
Huh.
surroundings could be different. It could be a busy street, it could be a dump, it could be chaos all around them, the top of a mountain, it could be anywhere.
That's
No
creepy.
matter where they are, they're just standing there looking at you and laughing.
Weird.
It's it is really good. I have to send that one to you too.
Unsettling.
And another one, I like Full Metal Alchemist. I'm not the hugest fan, but I understand the respect for it. It's really good. It's a very good shonen anime.
Hmm.
But the opening for the opening sequence that had Ready Steady Go, that one was so good. I
Yeah.
mean, it flows perfectly. It times itself right with the
Yeah.
music,
It does.
and it's I mean, I can't say it's classic, but it catches your attention.
Hmm.
You see it, and you're like, okay, it gets you interested in it.
Right.
I mean, there's some that I thought was really good. Like I was going back through some of my old favorites. Like there was one for Naruto that was, yeah, it used to be one of my favorites. Uh, Kanashimi wo yes, Kanashimi wo Yasashi Sani. That one. Do you remember the one where the singer had like a really high pitched voice?
No.
And oh well, I have to send that one to you too. But I really like that opening, and for the longest time I did. But when I went back and rewatched it today to
Hmm.
refresh myself on it, I found myself getting bored.
Oh
I
no.
was like, I was like, I can understand why I liked it in the past because I was a big fan of Naruto back then, and it was excellent to see all of this. But going back and watching it now, it's it wasn't that great. And I thought I really liked um, the Techno Life from Bleach, that opening.
Right.
And I went back and I watched it, and I was like, it's good,
But it's
but
not great.
it's not great. I mean, they have too many pauses in the action, you know.
Yeah.
So it's got to flow, it's got to match with the beat, it's got to look gorgeous while it does it, which Ready Steady Go does that. I'm not the biggest fan of Full Metal Alchemist, but I love that opening. I could watch that again and again and again and again,
Nice.
even if it was part of the bastardized first series.
Ugh. Let's
You know?
not say we did.
All right, and we are past our time. That should just about do it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Fruit Salad. What's today's mix?
Where if you haven't already thought we were nerds before, just know that after this, we're about to go and play some Final Fantasy XIV.
My babies are calling me.
Absolutely. If you have something you'd like to hear us talk about, please be sure to send us a message at fruitsalad.whatsthemix@gmail.com. We've had a great time hanging out with you this week. I'm Tabby.
And I'm Gio. We hope to see you beautiful people next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.